All right, guys. Sorry about that. We're back for part two now. We're going
Absolutely.
to move into our discussion about additional gaming content.
Absolutely. Yeah. So over this last, 2 weeks, week and a half, we've had E3, and E3 was pretty exciting. It brought a lot of cool announcements, and I think it's pretty much the root of what we're going to be talking about today. A lot of this stuff. I'll go ahead and start with two things that really excited me. The first one being backwards compatibility on the Xbox, which is pretty cool. One of the things that everyone complained about when the Xbox One was announced was that the system didn't have the capability to play the older games. So A, everyone was out all the money they played or paid for it, but B, why the hell would anyone upgrade until they came out with better games? Because they couldn't even play their old games on the new system. There wasn't a real call to action there. I think it was a bad decision. Um, I guess over time they figured out that that it was indeed a bad decision. I mean, why else would they be unveiling it now? You know, they're not charging additionally for it. What do you guys
Well,
think?
this just seems like a poor business decision right from the beginning, just because it's a reason people can move over to the new to the new console without losing all their content from 360.
Right.
Well, but do they lose the content? I mean, they still keep their consoles, right?
Right, but I mean,
You
how
can't like
how many things do you really want plugged in and controllers line?
right.
It's a pain in the
Well,
ass.
well, I agree. There are probably a couple of people who collect consoles or something. I'm not one of them.
No.
I would rather keep like having one system and play all the games on it.
But that's what we mean. We think the average person's like that too, and I think that's what they found out over
Dude,
time.
I can tell you that I love the PlayStation 2 because on the PlayStation 2 you were able to play all the PlayStation 1 games as well.
Right. And I don't have, I have a PlayStation 2 and a PlayStation 3. I can tell you that none of them are hooked up. Only the PlayStation 4 is hooked up.
Right. For sure. And I think that goes a long way with this. Even by the way, it's good to note that this also counts for digital copies of the game. So if you've done what they've been doing in these last few years, where they sell it online on the Xbox 360 Xbox Live account, that stuff's all going to auto-populate for you now on the
That's
Xbox
actually
One.
really awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
And that's really, really cool. I think, in my opinion, that's one of the big reasons people have now to go forward with the Xbox One upgrade. But the second one, I think Josh has a quick video for, and that is the Xbox Windows 10 announcement. And this is really cool for guys like us. One of the things that we're going to get to see is not only do they have like the Xbox OS talking to Windows 10 now, like they've had, in other
Hello,
stuff.
Windows. Hi, Xbox.
Right. But now they don't just have like the systems talking to each other and you see what of your buddies is online and all that stuff. No. Now you can actually plug in your USB controller and play Xbox games on your computer while emulating the Xbox One system in the other room. Why is that amazing? Well, several reasons. Number one, if you're using any way to stream, share, or anything like that, you don't just have to rely on the crappy stuff that's built into the Xbox, like the Twitch plugin. You could actually, like in theory, set up your computer using all that extra RAM and video processing power you have, and really just shoot out a super high quality representation of your stream or whatever you're doing. Um, Second, I mean, you can just play Xbox wherever your computer is now. If you want to play it on your laptop, on your lap, in your bed, and you don't have an Xbox in that room, do it. It adds a bunch of flexibility and capability to what the Xbox is compared to other systems. I think it's a really cool reason to consider it if you haven't before.
Yeah, I think it's a huge expansion. They've already had that relationship building between Windows 8 and Xbox 360, um, between those teams on. I mean, how hard is it for one Microsoft team to sit down with another Microsoft team and build this stuff in? But it's taken a while, but now they're getting to a point where it's really a big step for them.
Yeah, all I can say is that Microsoft is doing a lot of things right, and I'm one of the guys who thinks twice or even three times before he buys a console or something. And yeah, with all that advanced technology they offer, I would definitely buy an Xbox over a PlayStation or Nintendo console.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. Having said that, David, I spent the last year thinking I made a mistake. I bought it. I was one of the first people who bought it, and I was super pumped. Back then, I was playing a lot of Call of Duty, and ever since I stopped doing that, I'm like, I was rethinking it. I'm like, a lot of the cooler games are coming out on PlayStation. They're PlayStation exclusives, and this has done a lot to kind of suck me back in, so to speak, and to me thinking, wow, cool, I did make the right decision. I'm happy that I have it now. You know what I mean?
I can tell you that Sony is struggling anyway, and Microsoft is not. So being on
Right.
the Microsoft side is, yeah, I think more wise.
Well,
Well,
I certainly wouldn't have. I bought a PlayStation, and I liked the PlayStation 3 so much better than the 360 for performance and reliability issues aside, and also the power behind the PS3 was so much more than the 360. But it's certainly a reason that would get me interested in Xbox had I had this information from day one.
well, yeah, and I think nothing's better for gamers than the fact that this happened to them, because they would have no reason to do these things had it been a huge success right off the bat, right?
Well, yeah,
Like,
I mean, I
Yeah.
remember hearing the numbers comparisons between Xbox One and PS4. I don't think they were very good for Microsoft.
oh, I think even today it's like 20. They've said on record they've shipped like 10 million or something, and PlayStation's on record at least 20 million. So I mean, a 2-to-1 ratio is never good.
No.
But yeah, having said that, some of the other stuff that we want to take a look at is very PS4 centric, especially this first film that we're going to take a quick look at. And this is something that David brought up that I wasn't even thinking about, but man, this is a pretty cool thing they're coming out with, and that is Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I believe it's exclusive to PS4, right, David?
Yeah, it is.
It looks
Like-
amazing.
Yeah, like the original Final Fantasy VII was exclusive for PlayStation 1. Well, actually, it also released for the computer, so I could see them releasing the remake for a computer as well, but probably a year or two later.
But they never come over. It's never on Microsoft's products.
Yeah. Anyway, Final Fantasy VII or the remake is a really interesting take. I mean, people expected it for years now, and I mean it's announced for the 20th birthday of Final Fantasy VII, and I'm sure there will be a lot of changes. For example, the original Final Fantasy featured a kind of classic role-playing battle system. Like you were waiting for your characters, and then you could act, and they were all in order.
Right.
But now they're probably working on some kind of action battle system, like real time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've got to say, I've only ever played one Final Fantasy game. I think it was 13-2. I just
Oh wow.
could not get into it.
Yeah, you probably
is the
play
one
one. You probably play one of the worst parts ever. So.
Yeah, this is the one that everyone says go for.
Well, I never. You know me, David. You know this isn't the kind of game that I'm like, oh, I can't wait for XYZ. But of all the games I ever played, I did play the original Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation 2, I think it was.
It was PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1. Dude, that was a really good game. Like, that was a really good game. I totally got into it. I played it. I don't think I beat it, but I played it a lot.
Yeah, it had a lot of gameplay variations.
Yeah, replayability.
Yeah, it was a really interesting game, and it kind of brought the Japanese role-playing games to the Western market.
Yeah.
Well, because it's not very Japanese JRPG centric. Some of those are so ridiculous.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
it's-
yeah, I know it could be even more like like
It's
a manga or
very
an anime. But
it's a very good meeting between Eastern and Western
yeah, exactly.
role-playing games.
Totally. I mean, I can get behind it. I want to see what it's going to be like. I don't think a game like that is going to push me to buy a system per se, especially if it's only available on one. But I bet you, like, here, you know what game pushed me? I actually bought a PlayStation 3 for one game. Do you know what the game was?
No.
Last of Us?
Yes. The Last of Us was such an amazing game, and I had heard and seen such great things about it that I was like, I have to get a PlayStation. Like, that's how amazing that game looked to me, and it lived up to it. It was that good. It was one of the best games I've ever played. And what I'm saying is, that video is awesome, and it piques my interest. But it's it has to have a resounding success for it to have that kind of an appeal on me, more of an average gamer, than it would somebody who's really niche and into the Japanese RPGs. You know what I'm saying? Like they have to have really good success with it. Everyone has to say great things about it, and maybe I'd be interested. You know what I mean?
And I think that is what their approach is.
I think it's good. We'll see.
That's so easy. Like I could see myself buying it. I don't know how much it's going to cost straight off the bat. Do you? I don't think that has been released yet,
Well,
has it?
it's usually like 60 euros in Germany. So.
Yeah, but is it for a remake too?
Well, it's it's
I
not
guess
just
it's a
that. It's
full
not just that.
remake.
Yeah, it's a full remake. It's not just an HD version. They released an
Yeah.
HD version, I think, last year or something.
Yeah, you're right. But I do like being able to just plug into PSN and download a game and not have to mess around. It's so much easier to buy a game now.
Agree. Yeah, I mean, really on both
You
consoles.
don't
it's
even
like
have to leave your home.
that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
don't have to. I just
You can
remember
sit
going to
there,
like
you're
a
unaware,
specific
not even
game
you're
store.
unaware. Yeah, you don't have to visit a nerdy game store.
It's pretty nice, but I'd give it a shot.
What about this next game, Josh? This has got to be pretty close to your heart.
Which one are we talking about here? Fallout?
Yep.
I think I'm in the same boat as you. I started playing Fallout not in the early days, but I played Fallout 3, Fallout 4, New Vegas, or Fallout, or is it Fallout 4, New
Fallout
Vegas
3,
right after?
Fallout New Vegas, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I played like Fallout 1, but I'm sure the series has changed a lot since then. So,
Yeah, I mean, this game looks
Looks really
unbelievably
good.
good.
Yeah. And these guys don't make junky products. Like, their stuff's usually... The coolest thing about Bethesda that I've seen, it's a lot like Witcher and stuff like that, where they have so many layers of shit that you have to find. You'll miss it the first 10 times through, but maybe the 11th you'll see it. You know what I mean?
Well, I went back to New Vegas after I had already beaten the game, and there was still so many hours of stuff that I hadn't seen.
That's crazy. This dog in this video looks exactly like the rendered German Shepherd in the Call of Duty games.
Yeah, it does.
maybe it is from the Call of Duty games.
They took their assets.
It's
Yeah.
so ridiculously similar. Like even the movements, and I mean, it's probably
I mean,
you know,
maybe it's the same engine.
maybe they use the same dog with their CGI.
They just had them
It's the German
email it
Shepherd,
over.
the top model. It's like a hand model. There's a top German Shepherd for CGI work.
Oh, I see what you're saying. They brought in the same German Shepherd, put the suit on him.
Yeah, exactly. It's the
Well,
exact same movements.
Yeah, probably. I think that's a good theory.
This is a really cool looking game. I like it. It kind of has that before and after look, just like all Fallouts do. It's
Well,
like
everyone is just running.
before the explosion and after, right?
And we're gonna learn more and more about Vault Tech. Like, we haven't seen these vaults in the past. These are different people. It's a different setting.
Super exciting.
It just looks amazing.
The coolest thing about these games is they're starting to be so the media is getting more and more like large what they can fit in these games, and it's cool that you're starting to see the digital landscape of these encompass such large regions, and there's just so many unexplored things that would have just never even been possible on like these old consoles, like the even the Nintendo 64 could never come close to some of this
The
stuff.
Nintendo
really?
64, that's like a million years old.
Hey, you know what? What I mean is like as far as
down mode.
not graphically, but I mean how much data, like how much actual
We're gonna
space
compare to
and
something like
maps.
PlayStation 2 or something.
Well,
It's-
how many of those cartridges for Nintendo 64 does it take to fit 40 gigs of data on?
I was
Oh,
going to
it's-
say,
it's
I think
impossible.
I think a cartridge has like 128 or 256 megabytes.
That's the Nintendo 64. That's all they held.
Yeah,
Well,
256.
yeah, I mean,
I
I think it's less than CDs.
it's way less. It's way less. I think they had
CDs
one or
only.
two cartridges that were able to have like 400 or 500, but that's it.
You know what's
And the-
crazy is now
The
they
tall
have
ones?
now they have 512 megabyte mini USB drives, the little flash drives that are 512 or not megabyte, gigabyte, 512, half a terabyte of data on a tiny little USB thing. And you couldn't fit this stuff. This media was like 250 megs. Are you kidding me?
I know.
Crazy.
God.
It's crazy. Well, Fallout 4 looks amazing, and Bethesda had a big old thing. They even went over Doom and some other stuff at their booth, so they look like they're doing great stuff. Fallout 4 is definitely the most exciting thing. For us, however, as kind of a troop here, we've been playing with Twitch, and you guys, if you haven't, check us out on twitch.tv/WSS podcast. We've been doing some gaming lately. We've been doing mostly Magic and Ark Survival Evolved, which we'll talk about in a minute. But one of the big thing for us has been the platform, and Twitch has been great so far. We've been using Twitch. We've been doing a stream either from one of our points of view, either sharing a team viewer session or going live in game on a Skype call. But it looks like now they're starting to come out with YouTube Gaming, which is, I guess, an entire product lineup and rollout for a Twitch-like series of channels that's kind of integrated into YouTube, and it has full support. I mean, it looks like the real deal, right, Josh?
It looks pretty amazing. I mean, as amazing as something like this can look.
Yeah, I was
It's-
going to say if they can't have Twitch, they better get their own stuff going, right?
Right.
Better be better.
And like we were saying before the show today, the bandwidth allocation is going to be so much better running this stuff through YouTube rather than through Twitch.
Oh, it's insane. And not just that. One of the other things that I was thinking about just now, if we're having, it's actually one of the things that I just said. I said, hey, if we're streaming, we're usually, going over TeamViewer on a Skype call. But
Oh yeah, it's all on one now.
why can't we just do everything through one platform now with YouTube? Do you know what I'm saying? It's going to be huge. I'm getting more and more excited thinking about it. Like I believe we can, if it's exciting enough, I can see us taking our whole setup and get up this direction. I mean, it would just save a lot of time, hassle, and it would be good for everybody, right?
Yeah, and I think launch is set for this summer still, right?
Well, yeah, this summer's starting to move along. It's almost July, so let's get going.
They've got their
Mhm.
placeholder website up where you can sign up to be notified of when this thing goes live.
Absolutely.
The only problem is that it's only available on US and UK.
Yeah, poor David, he can't do it, I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, at least not without a
Not
proxy
not on
server
the
or
first
something.
wave, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not test it out with the bad boys? The United States!
Yeah.
Well, like you were saying, we've been streaming a lot of this game Ark,
Yep. Absolutely.
and we're real dinosaur boys at this point.
Absolutely, yeah. We picked up this game, and this is a game that Josh casually mentioned it. I asked him the other day, and this is maybe 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think 2 weeks ago at this point.
2 weeks ago, it was after our show, and we were talking about other things that we wanted to look at in our stream, and Josh was like, well, what about this this dinosaur Minecraft game I was checking out, and I said, "What?" And he showed me actually the video that we have here, and we're gonna link you guys to these YouTube videos underneath the cast here when we publish it. But pretty cool stuff. This game, it really is like a mixture between Minecraft and beating the hell out of dinosaurs and taming them and using them for your own good and humanity's good in this game. It's
For
really,
exploration
really fun.
and breeding.
Yep, you can breed them. Or no, you can't actually breed them yet.
But it'll be coming soon though, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean they've got eggs in the game already, but you can't hatch the eggs, so
Yeah. The thing about the game is, and
just eat them.
you can see it as a downside or you can see it as a huge upside, is that this game is basically like in an alpha state. So what's happening is you're getting the game for a reduced price. We got it. I mean, I got it even cheaper than it is today. I got it for like $5 less or whatever. But it's $25 today, right? But when this game's released full, it's going to be at least $50. It is absolutely stunningly gorgeous. If you have a good enough computer, this game like blows everything else out of the water. I personally have turned down my graphics because I like to stream and kind of multitask and do other things on there, but also because my computer's a piece of junk. But it's tons of fun. Josh and I have actually started a server, and anybody who's interested we'll leave a link to the server and some in the secret access password below. But yeah, it's tons of fun. You can either
Oh, you
decide
can
that
have
you're
ducks? Holy shit.
anything.
Best game
Ducks.
ever.
They're
T-Rex.
dodos, yep.
Dude, I'm doing nothing else than hunting ducks.
David's just gonna go to dodo hunting for his whole time.
For sure, dude. Whatever. Move on.
Yeah.
What?
Anyway, the game's amazing. We're now to the point where we're starting to like try to explore and find the cave areas that have like the secret artifacts and crap like that. The problem is it's legitimately hard. They make it actually hard to do. It's not something if you're good at video games that you can just walk over there and do it yourself. You need like a plan. You need supplies. You need people. It's pretty ridiculous. But the game's
cool thing
awesome.
is, we've had it for, like you said, 2 weeks. We've been through nearly an update every day because this thing's in alpha basically, or open access
Yeah,
beta.
open access beta. I think it's your beta testing of the game essentially.
Yeah. I mean, the thing's made already $10 million, I saw, on being in Steam Early Access.
Wow.
So they're able to put in money into this game and clean up some of the performance issues, because it is, like you said, it takes a pretty hefty computer to run it at full. And part of that is just basic inefficiency, I think, in how it uses the system. But they'll be able to clean a lot of that up.
Well, I think it's worth noting that this is actually from the PS4 announcement. So this thing is going to be complete. They have a vested interest in getting this thing fleshed out and finished as quickly as possible, because they have to hit launch dates for not only PC full release, they also have to hit PS4 and Xbox One.
Right,
And I think
yeah, it's coming to all these platforms.
that gives them a great incentive, and it gives the consumer a great experience in regards to knowing that they're going to get a finished product sooner than later. And the stuff that they've been releasing has been really neat. They've been releasing building stuff, new dinosaurs, and whatnot. So just knowing that that's coming almost adds something to the game, because usually you get a game and you know what's in it. But it's been pretty fun.
I think we're looking at right now, there's about 20 different dinosaurs, and I think they want 70 plus types of dinosaurs in there when it goes full launch, which is scheduled for June of 2016, I think. So 1
Gotcha.
year from now.
Yeah.
But it's good fun.
Definitely. Well, I think Ark's been a lot of fun for us as kind of at least as a twosome. I don't know why David hadn't gotten it. He hates birds and he hates dinosaurs, so he's a jerk. But we've been enjoying it, and we've had a couple people from our Twitch stream join in. What's up? Shout out to Medic, and shout out to Mono for being around so much for the dino hunting. But yeah, it's been fun. We've been streaming it a little bit, so you guys can see it played there too if you want.
Definitely. Well, that is all the news we wanted to go over this week. Anything else you guys wanted to bring up?
Not for now.
No, I think that was a pretty informative show. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the format. We're going to be doing a lot more emphasis on gaming in general. We'll obviously stay up to date with Magic and kind of what's going on there, but really, let us know what you'd like to hear about. If there's something that we didn't cover and you want to hear about it, leave it in the comments. Comment on the video. Subscribe to our channel to get updates on the latest news, and we'll be posting not only Magic gameplay, but art gameplay, possibly. I have no idea. Just check our channel. We'll be posting a lot of fun stuff. With that, I guess that's it, right, guys? Anything else?
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Thank you, guys. All right. See you next week.
Bye.
All right.